Greetings to everyone on the VELS channel. As you remember, in the last video, I showed you how to trade on the spot, and for this, I chose the TON coin. It's nice to see your interest, and while my deal is being executed, I decided to show you how I set up futures bots, how I choose a pair, and how I work with risk. The first thing I look at when choosing a pair is volatility. This coin moves quite strongly, and at the same time, it is in correlation with Bitcoin. There is also a noticeable participant who pushed the price from the brief chartists who came here, on this downward movement. We choose the exchange, in this case, I have it Bybit. We find the coin UGEN or OWN. For this coin, I choose a deposit of $50 with a third shoulder. There will be $150 in the transaction. In the overlap, I set the percentage. In other words, it should be a wide set of carders. Do not forget that we are not trading some fundamental, but still it is a shield. Let it be 14% for this coin, but with one important condition. For this coin, I will put conservative filters. This is very important because the coin can turn around sharply at the most inopportune moment when I will not wait for it. I will trade 5 orders with Martin Ive at 70%. This will allow me to average as efficiently as possible so that I can exit the deal in case of unpredictable movements. In the indentation, I will ask the market. In principle, I don't care about the Binance commission in this case because I'm going to cover them with profit. I need a logarithm here because the overlap is very wide. But in order to enter the transaction more efficiently, yes, with the largest volume, I will simply set the value for the logarithm. In the order grid tightening, I will set the value to 0.6%. This is a very important function, and we should not forget about it, because if the price deviates in the other direction, at my moment by 0.6%, the bot will look for another entry point. I shouldn't go into this deal, yes, because the price has clearly gone in a downward direction, so I'd better look for a new entry point. In the profit section, I will use multi-takes. Why multi-takes? Because it is important for me to set a stop loss at no loss. Stop loss without loss will allow you to lock in a profit at the level of either a multi-take to the second. Well, in this case I have 2 multi-takes, so I will exhibit from the average. This will ensure the deal, in case of a reversal, yes. After the price reaches 2% and fixes 30% of the allocated volume, yes, that is, there will be $150 in the transaction, I will fix 30% of this volume as profit. And if suddenly the price returns, I will simply close at break-even, and the bot will look for a new entry point and reopen the position. The next indentation is 3%, where I plan to fix the rest of the profit. In the filters for starting the bot, as I said, I will set conservative values. And by the way, if you trade independently and do not use default settings, then do not forget to combine the indicator with other tools because this will allow you to find the best entry points. That is, one indicator conditionally RSI will work for overbought, but, for example for the Bollinger Band indicator, it will not be an overbought zone, and it may not even reach any of its borders. Therefore, it is important to set the value with different timeframes here. That is, for one 5-minute period on the RSI indicators, it is just an entry point with a finger in the sky. Therefore, always specify more indicators, look for the best entry point. Let the bot work slowly, but you will enter into the transaction more efficiently. So, we create a bot. I'll call it Fire Long Stream. Creating and launching a bot. So, no errors came to me. This means that I have configured it correctly, and after it executes it, I will also receive a notification. As he fixes the profit, I will also see it. Let's go back to the schedule again. I will disable the bot after the coin crosses these levels, because there is an accumulation of short liquidity above the levels. Here are the stop losses of all those participants who entered this downward movement. This does not mean that the coin is now going to go there and abruptly fly out. No, most likely, she will go to roll in somehow, maybe climb up again. Well, it should be compressed to these levels. And after it crosses this level, there will be an impulse. Therefore, I installed another alert on TradingView to disable the bot, because we don't want to see any additional risks. Therefore, we will disable the bot after it crosses the level. I want to launch the next coin to work in the channel of the Bollinger Strip. To do this, we find a coin, for example, in a downtrend. Here's a coin Sung. We see how it has been doing nothing but flowing for a long time. We look at how the coin moves, how much it can grow. Its last growth was about 5%. Yes, that is from this Protergovka, it went up by 5%. For greater security, I will set the grid at 10%. This will allow me to trade this coin for a fairly large amount of time, but sometimes look in the Telegram. So, the coin is ripe. For her, I will allocate a deposit of $50 and set up a third shoulder with a cross walrus. In the trading mode, as I said, I set an overlap of 10%. Here, I will have a small number of orders and a fairly large martingale. I'll put martingale at 60%. As an indentation, I will set the market value, and as a pull-up of orders, I will set a small value of 0.3%. So, then we will go out on signal. This is a very cool feature. A function that will allow us to fix when the price reaches the upper level of the channel. We set the interval to 15 minutes, as on the chart. Click Check PNL. That is, the bot will take into account the negative position and not close the deal, but wait for profit. In the filters for starting the bot, I also set Bollinger Bands with an interval of 15 minutes. Everyone, please, our setup is ready. Now we can run the bot. But before that, we'll do a preview. So, we see how our grid will look like. Creating a bot. I'll call him Sanglong Stream. Create. Launching the bot. After the bot receives the indicator signal, I will receive a notification. So, dear friends, this moment was not noticeable for you, but I have already had a few days, and I am in a hurry to share the results of transactions. According to the coin, the Firebot showed the best results. I had 2 take profits. The first take profit was at 2%, and the second take profit was at 3%. Accordingly, all take profits were executed, and everything that I expected from the transaction happened. According to the coin, the Spellbot closed the deal when it received a signal from the indicator. And we see that in the situation, the bot closed the deal with a profit of 0.80%. But, due to the fact that there was no strong volatility, the bot could not gain a full position. At the same time, I had to comply with the risks, and in this case, my diversification was just the launch of 2 bots, one of which worked very well, and in a few days, brought as much as 4% to the deposit. These are actually very large numbers. If you look at the chart, we opened a deal in this section, and just the bot was gaining a position, based on the data I asked him. However, there is one point. When Bitcoin came to its lows, I decided to close the trades with my hands and stop the bots until the strong chart movements end. If the Firecoin was gaining me well, and in principle, I still left some field for the bot to work, then the situation was different for the coin. Strong lows formed here, and I decided not to work with the coin. Therefore, it is always important to observe the coins. Yes, the bots will work independently, but you need to track the price step, the volatility of the coin, other activity on the guide, that is, on Bitcoin. If you see some abnormal activity on Bitcoin, it's better to just stop the bot and launch it a little later. Or vice versa, run it in the other direction, for example, in the chart. If we see, for example, that Bitcoin is starting to shrink to its lows, then accordingly, this will be a good entry point for you for a short. Here, we can run short bots, and it will gain a position and naturally fix the profit. At the same time, you can set large percentages for your profit. Thank you for watching the video to the end. If you have any suggestions and a question about strategies, be sure to write in the comments to this video, and we will shoot a video on this topic. And now don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.